Yo, what's good, man? It's another episode of Black Man's Thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my spectacles off. You feel me? I'm gonna keep them on. But yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. You know, this is fight week with Canelo, Crawford, Canelo. You know, so that's exciting. But anyway, man, let me start off, man, by talking about my Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North. AFC North. You know what? Two teams won. The Bengals and the Steelers. The Browns lost to the Bengals, and the Steelers beat the Jets. The Ravens lost to the Bills, 40-41. My assessment of the matchup was underwhelming on defense. What I thought on offense. And here's what I mean. What surprised me was the Bills' resilience. The Bills have a quiet toughness about them that when you look at them on paper, to me, they don't seem like they have that in them. It kind of reminds me of that the Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn fight we just watched a few months ago, where Chris Eubanks said, I didn't know that Conor Benn could pull that out of himself. I didn't know that he had that in him. And when I saw the Ravens go up, what is it, but like 40-15 or something crazy like that, 30-15, something was crazy. It was like 30-15. It was up like 15 in the fourth quarter, and it was like 4 minutes left. And you're sitting there like, man, these boys is you know, they up. This is the game. Just run fucking, you know, run Derrick Henry. You know, let Andrews get some first downs. You know, scatter some Lamar in there and close out the game. Simple as that. But that's not exactly what happened. And what happened was something also too familiar to a lot of Ravens fans. And that is what? That is being up and in the fourth quarter and in watching your lead disappear. And how does it disappear? Because your and my Baltimore Ravens decide to play soft coverage and allow every quarterback. We're talking about Josh Allen though, but this is a reoccurring thing. It allows quarterbacks to sit there in the pocket, get first down, moving the ball. People are weirdly wide open, and it seems like my Ravens get deer and headlights. They freeze up. There's definitely a lot of scar tissue on that, where it's like now the scar tissue that's bubbled over. Now it's literally something you can feel on your skin. It's like, yeah, that's gonna be there permanently. Why? Because until we're able to eradicate that feeling, that happens not to any old team, but to good playoff teams like the Bills and the Chiefs, and hell, even the Steelers. I wouldn't even call Steelers a great playoff team, but they're a team, nonetheless, that can pull out that emotion in us, that situation in us. Until we see that happen multiple times and we were successful, you can't say that that's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And what I watched was there was literally no pass rush. We spent all season talking about Mike Green. We spent all season talking about gaining 60 pounds, bulking up, gaining 20 pounds. We heard all off season about how Roquan was looking thinner. We heard all off season about how Trenton Simpson was best friends with Roquan now, and they was taking trips to fucking India and you know what I mean, had each other's love languages and how they was best friends and how they're studying together. Well, listen, here's what happened. The same damn thing happened this last year. Trenton Simpson didn't even out-snap a rookie who's coming for his position, Teddy Buchanan. They had more snaps than Trenton Simpson. That says a lot. That says a lot that after the game that the coach says that this is going to continue, that they're going to split how many they're going to play, split reps, when he's a rookie and you're in your third year. There is no damn splitting reps. You're third year. You know, you got benched last year. So that tells me a lot about Trenton Simpson. And for some reason, they're just not trusting him. Some reason, he's just not picking it up. But here's what gets me. Don't we have a new don't we have the new defense linebackers coach in Andretti or something like that? So I'm just driving. I don't know his name. It's like some Andretti. He's supposed to be a top up-and-coming coach. He did good where he was at, and now he gets to the same person, which is Trenton Simpson and his linebacker group. And again, Trent Simpson is underperforming. So that's either two things. That's either EDC missed on that draft pick, or there's a philosophy problem that's not allowing these players to play better. Because you brought in a new coach. This is a new look for him. You brought in a new coach who has some experience, not in the NFL, but experience doing well, and he can't get. And this is what he got out of him. Roquan was playing, but I didn't see nothing great from Roquan. I just thought he played decent. I thought that the linebacking core was underwhelming. I thought that we gave up way too many runs, way too many screens. Well, not really runs, but way too many screens. I think that there's no reason why. I forgot his name. So Coleman, I forgot his first name. Coleman got over 100 yards on us. There's no receiver that I think he should be able to get 100 yards on our team. And coincidentally, when we need to close out the game, he's one of the players that they're giving it to, and he's known to be a slow receiver. So my thing is like, okay, if you can't stop Coleman from beating you, and the Bills marching down the field, and Coleman is known as a slower receiver, what are you going to do to Jamar Chase, who they're picking up 400 or 500 yards on you at will? Jamar Chase has had multiple 200-yard games on this. That's one thing. Then you bring out Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander hasn't practiced in a freaking month. Why is Jair Alexander out there? Why is he out there? And you're watching this man getting beat, and you keep him out here. Yet you have Keaton Mitchell on the bench, who's been going crazy all summer long, and you don't play him. I don't get the rationale. Yeah, they're two different positions. Yeah, you can say one needs more depth, blah, 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 blah. I hear that. We put up 40 points. That's great. It says the problem's on defense, but not really. Because the dynamic is, if you have Keaton Mitchell, what's his name? Henry and Lamar Jackson on the field, and it's 4th and 3, you can have more confidence in going for more, because it's going to create so many mismatches. But when you handicap yourself and say we're not going to play him, you already know what plays Derrick Henry's coming to the game. You already know what plays Justice Hill is coming in the game. So my thing is, I would have rather had, my running back active and not had Jair Alexander out there, knowing he has a practice for a month, and he had 1 week of practice, half a week of practice, and now you're telling me he's about to go against NFL competition after he was hurt last year, didn't play any preseason, I don't think, didn't practice the last month, and you're going to throw him into the game? I think this is why people call for John Harbaugh's head, because it doesn't make any sense. And then you say, okay, we lost a lot of people when Zach Orr took over. But yet, you came back in this year, you replaced him with Chuck Spag. You replaced him with a Dean Pease. You replaced him with a Dean Pease' son. The problem is, if you watch the damn Ravens over the years, you remember when Dean Pease would do this stuff before. Dean Pease was notorious with playing that damn prevent and allowing these boys to come back and throw these balls on us like that. If you know anything about Dan Pease, that's what he's about. Prevent defense. I don't understand. They're going so much zone, not enough man, because man, I think it doesn't allow the blitzes or whatnot. But here's the thing, you wasn't getting any damn pressures anyway on his own. So what is the difference? Change some things up. You're handicapping yourself You're handicapping yourself by saying, you know what, by handicapping yourself. Sorry, man, it's some construction. You know what I mean, like you're handicapping yourself by, just the way you're doing it. I don't want to hear the excuse that any excuse. If Jair wasn't up to snuff, and you see him getting beat like that, it's your common sense that he's not ready. You've had TJ Tampa, you had all them boys in there who Jair just is new to the system, is not more than TJ, but some of these boys, I would have tried their ass out there because Jair, and then the last catch to the tight end was a third string tight end. If you watch, completely took Jair out of the situation. So complete disappointment from the coaching standpoint. And I just think that I don't call for nobody's head right now, but to me, I think that John Harbaugh deserves to get up there and say that, hey, how do you get a new Chuck Pagno, I forgot the name, but the old defensive coordinator, you add him to the room. You still got Dan Pease's son. You still got Dan Pease's system, connection to Dan Pease. Those are two defensive coordinators right there. That's a wealth of experience. How does this same situation happen from last year when you didn't have the experience? That tells me that tells me there's a philosophy problem that's going on with the defense. It is a philosophy problem because every single time it's, he needs to understand better the nuts and bolts of it, or the route concepts and the way the little details. No, that's what Spags was hired to do. The things that he isn't processing yet, the thing that he isn't seeing, Spags is supposed to pick that up. Dean Pease is supposed to pick that up. John Harbaugh, who isn't an offensive coordinator, who isn't a defensive coordinator, but has the freedom to float around, and this is your most coveted topic on the offseason, all these first-round draft picks on defense. We spent first 2 picks on defense. This is what you wanted to fix. This is what you spent off season doing. You're promising to get better on defense, but you mean to tell me you don't have enough time to go in there and make sure this doesn't happen? I don't care about the loss. The loss is frustrating. The Bills are a good team. I don't think they should beat us in no way, shape, or form, but they're a good team. The problem that I'm having is that the same way we're losing is from last year. It's the same as last year, and you had the whole offseason. You had the whole month. When that schedule came out, the game plan for the same exact team that you game plan for deeply in the playoffs that knocked you out. And the same things happen. That tells me then it may not be the players. It's the coaching philosophy. Why are we getting shook like that? John Harbaugh says that we're going to be good on defense. That's yet to be seen. You can't make that statement. I guarantee we're going to be a pretty good defense. Guarantee how? How can you guarantee that? We were 31st in pass defense last year, and we just gave up damn near 500 yards again. There's no way that you can guarantee that this is going to be different this year. It's the same defensive coordinator, same head coach, same exact results. I thought Lamar played decent. I don't think he was able to throw enough, but I do think that we have a line problem too. We have a right side of our line problem, and maybe also a little bit. Voorhees didn't play too good, but he also didn't play super great either. So, I just think that we need to look at an option definitely at number 77 at the right guard, and that's why I'm very disappointed. We play the Browns this week. Even if we win, to me, that doesn't consider. I mean, obviously a dub is a dub, but that doesn't consider anything type of rebound, because we have to do this against playoff teams, talented teams, not against teams that we're expected to do this against. I thought, let's go on. Steelers played the Jets. Justin Fields looked good. I thought that the Jets should have closed the game out, but they're a young team, young quarterback. They got to figure out how to win, just like the Ravens. Got to figure out how to close the games out. Aaron Rodgers didn't look that great to me, but the play action was working. DJ Metcalf was doing the stuff thizzle. I don't think the run game for the Pittsburgh Steelers is anything. I don't think their run defense is great. Man, their pass defense is dissimilar, but I don't really think that they did that great. I mean, Justin Fields had a hell of a damn day. Justin Fields is not known as a damn passer. And, I don't think the Jets is looked at as any type of powerhouse offense, but I thought that the Steelers had really hard time stopping this team. They didn't play the Bills. They played the Jets. And I think that they had leaks all over that team. I'm hearing that they're about to sign a safety from the Patriots. I think Deshaun the Joker Elliott. He got hurt. Chuck Clark, I think he's out there, but he's not all that. I don't think that Patrick Queen is that great. The Jets were running all over this team, and hopefully it continues. I'm not too jumped up on the Steelers defense. They didn't really wow me. The 4 touchdowns that Aaron Rodgers had. I'm not gonna hate on it. 4 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns in the NFL. Dude's 40 years old. Good job, good game. But it just wasn't that. It wasn't one of those. Was like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is taking over. He looked slow to me. He gave up 3 or 4 sacks. He just can't get out. And I just think that a lot of those plays were splash plays. Like a lot of that screen, I think DK Metcalf would get like 2 or 3 catches, like 5 yards, and took it like 30, 40. That's a lot of those yards right there. That's a lot of that. So teams will that. But, Austin, they got some dude named Austin or some, their receiver. He made a good play. He made a good play over, Brandon Stevens. I'm glad we got rid of that dude. But shit, we got him again so far in Jair. So it's like we have him, I didn't get a chance to watch the Browns and Bengals game. Not too fond of neither of those teams. I prefer the Browns to win over the Bengals. I can't stand the Bengals. The Bengals always play the Browns tough, and they held Joe Burrow and Chase, I think, under 200 each. Under 100 yards. I think Joe had 100 yards passing, but I think that Chase had like 33 yards receiving. I think that Joe didn't go over 200, so neither did the running back, so they don't impress me that much. But again, we play the Browns in AFC North competition. Divisional rivals are always tough. But, that's my take, though, man. Let me know what you think. Is John Harbaugh on a hot seat? Is Orr on a hot seat? Is Spags underperforming? Is the defensive coordinator help underperforming? Is EDC drafting the wrong type of players? Is there a philosophy? Is the problem more philosophy than coaching? I know that makes sense, but because the coach brings the philosophy, and we know that falls on John Harbaugh, but is the philosophy that they're employing on defense the problem, or is it the coaching of the players that's the problem? I think it's the philosophy. I don't think it's the coaching, because if you're looking at the situation, the first 3 quarters, the philosophy works. The problem is when they put the heat to the furnace, or the heat to the fire, and you get close to that fire, and now you have to think, perform, and the pressure is on. I think the mentality of the play calling changes, and I think the conversations on the sideline and what's going through their head is the problem. The philosophy, when things get rough, when we get up, we're feeling good, we get conservative, and then once they bounce back, we're like, oh man, it's like you work out and you sweat and you feel good, and then you sit down for about an hour and you start to crust over, you start to get all stiff and stuff. It's like that. It's like we're playing good, we get up, and all of a sudden we get too happy, then they start coming back a little bit, and we're already stiff, we're already checked out. That's the philosophy, that's the mentality. That's where I think it needs to change, because when the Bills got hit, they didn't stiffen over. They didn't lay down and say, yeah, it's 4 minutes down, we got it. No, they start turning it up, and that's what good teams do. That's what a bully does. And the Ravens are notorious for being a bully for the first 3 quarters, and then that last quarter, when they think they won and they get hit real hard, then the bully starts to retreat, and that's how we lose our games. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Black Man Stops.